Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I don't see any new faces. Anybody first time? You visiting for the first time?
Second time.
Second time. That's just as good as the first time. Tell us your name again. Huh?
Me?
Yes.
Mirabai.
Wow. And of course, you're the left. Okay, let's give her
I was in New York.
second time.
Passing through.
Huh?
Passing through.
On your way to?
Florida from New York.
Oh, okay.
Very good
And
name.
the lunch of course. You know her?
Yes, I do.
So, anyway, this is the New Year's Eve. And I know some people are a little disappointed. Why we're not having the midnight arti? This is Upper Jar, who normally does that's not here. He went to India. And we're just a very small handful of devotees, so that people don't realize they have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. So, and they're there at 1 o'clock to do all the other. So technically, we never got permission to do that midnight arti. The deities have their particular say. This is the move is actually in the temple worship is this is their home, right? And everyone who resides here are their servants, so they have very particular schedule. They eat at this time. They have this kind of food at this time. They go to sleep at this time, and we are their servants. In your home, you can. He's a guest. He eats when you eat. He sleeps when you eat. He eats what you eat. You don't have to worship like in the temple. So we have a whole ministry. Oh, make sure that they keep the standards properly. But we've been kind of sneaking doing midnight artis for a while. So this is Panihati down, right? So Anyway, this is on a Sunday, so many combinations. So anyways, so thank you all for please coming for the final Sunday feast of the year. And we are fortunate to have also here His Grace Naru Gopal Key. He's sitting over here, he's being humble. And he's, of course, coming from Srila Mayapur. He's a regional secretary for West Bengal, Calcutta, and he's extensively traveling and preaching. So, I know most people, when you think of holy Dhams, you just think of Mayapur, Vrindavan. But most of our acharyas at Iskcon Swamis are all from that area. This used to be East Bengal, and then it became Bangladesh, so we don't have a lot of pilgrimage over there, but there's a very, very holy place. Thousands of devotees over there too, hundreds of temples. There's not a lot of publicity about it because it's a Muslim country. But even the Muslim MPs, they appreciate Vaishnava philosophy. I visited once, and one of the MPs was speaking, and he was glorifying one of the acharyas that appeared in his area. And I talked to one of the boys, I said, oh, he's Muslim. I go, yeah, he's Muslim, but he knew all the pastimes. So it's a unique breed. So without further ado, let us hear from His Grace Naru Gopal. And of course, he's my son-in-law. He's married to my daughter, Madhu. Most important part, right?
Prabhu!
Hare Krishna नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मोकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथाधामदाय नगरवृन्दाय। Hare Krishna, I offer my respectful obeisances to all the Sambhu Vaishnavas, begging your mercy to be able to say something. So today is the last day of 2023. As we grow old in age, we are also expected to mature within also. Externally, yes, we have become a little bit more older by 1 year. But it is also expected that we also grow within. You heard the name Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya? He was the Raja Pandit of Maharaj Prataprutra in Jagannath Puri. He was the king of Odisha and South India. He had a son-in-law. His name was Amoga. He was the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods. He appeared as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. His son-in-law was Amoga. For some reason, he was very, very critical to the devotees and to the Lord. Because of his offense, he developed a disease and he was about to die. So Gopinath Acharya, one of Mahaprabhu's associates, told the Lord that Amoga is about to die. When the Lord heard that, he actually ran to Amoga. He's just about to die. Mahaprabhu went. There's a whole history why Mahaprabhu ran there. Because Amoga actually criticized Mahaprabhu himself. But Lord ran to him. Maybe he was lying down, just about to leave his body. And Mahaprabhu touched his heart like this. He said, "You're the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. You're born as a Brahmin. You have the greatest opportunity to advance in Krishna consciousness. my dear monk, instead of loving Krishna, why do you have so much envy in your heart? Why? Give up this enmity towards the Lord and His devotees. Chant Hare Krishna. Be happy. Get rid of this tendency of criticizing the Lord and His devotees. You have so much opportunity. You're connected with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. You're connected to Lord Jagannath. Why are you doing this? Please chant and dance. This person was lying down, about to leave his body. But because of the touch of the Lord, immediately he got up. The disease just disappeared within a moment. And he began to chant and dance in ecstatic love of Godhead. All of us have the same opportunity as a monk. When the year ends, the new year begins, it is expected that we'll introspect ourselves. We'll try to examine ourselves to see what we have done, what went wrong, what went right, what to reject, what to expect. None of us know what is about to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows. There was a boy in Mayapur. This is a true story. The one I just told about Amaga, that is also true. Happened 500 years back. And this, what I'm about to say, it happened a couple of years back in Mayapur. There was a Russian boy. And he was only 18. So every day in the evening, he was a Gurukula boy, come and play basketball with the other boys, with the other students. And so every day he would come and play. So on this particular day, as usual, at the end of the game, he told the other boys, okay, come tomorrow, let's play. And so everyone said, yes, of course. Everyone went back to their homes. He also went back to his home. Took prasad. He went to sleep. Never woke up. He left his body in the middle of the night. And the boys that he was supposed to play with, they came, not to play basketball, but to take his body and do the last rites to bank of the Ganga. That boy did not know. We also don't know. And therefore, with every day, every week, every month, every year passing by, we must contemplate. Just like Srivas Thakur asked Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu did not exhibit that he is the Lord, he was just acting as someone who's very egoistic, always arguing with everyone. Srivas Thakur stopped him one day on the road and says, where are you going? Not meaning literally where you're going, but meaning, where are you? What's your life? What's the aim of your life? What are you doing? What do you plan to do? Mahaprabhu did not respond that particular day. But Srivas Thakur was preaching to him, telling the Lord, why are you wasting your life? That really touched the Lord's heart. And he asked Srivas Thakur, what do you want from me? So Srivas Thakur said, I want you to become a devotee. said, yes, I will become a devotee. So devotional service, if you take all the teachings of the scriptures, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the Puranas, all the Vedas, and everything, it's only categorized into three. There is nothing beyond these three principles, which is sambandha, meaning relationship, avidheya, meaning the process, and prayojan, meaning the goal. So devotional service is all about relationship. Throughout the year, this should be our contemplation. What is our relationship with the Lord? What is our relationship with the holy name? What is our relationship with the devotees? And what is our relationship with the holy Dham? If at the end of the day you feel that our relationship with the Lord, with His holy name, with His devotees, with His Dham has intensified, has become more deep, that is the best. At the end of the day you feel like, somehow I don't feel like chanting. I don't have that attachment with the Lord. I don't really feel like going to the temple. I don't really have attachment to His holy name, and something is wrong. Then as Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur explains, anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya vachana. Our very lives should be based on this principle of developing our relationship with Krishna and His holy name, with His devotees, and with the holy Dham. Anything that is favorable to deepen our relationship with the Lord and His devotees, that should be accepted. Anukulyasya sankalpa. We accept that. Any elements that distance ourselves from the Lord and His devotees would be rejected. Pratikulyasya varjana. That's it. We all talk, there's New Year's resolutions, and we all see the paper and we write certain things, which is good. But please see, the essence of that should be to develop a relationship with Krishna, with His holy name, with His devotees, with the holy Dham. You cannot say that, I'm chanting my rounds quite nicely, but I don't like this devotee, I don't like this devotees, I don't like this devotees. But I'm okay, I'm okay. But I just can't handle devotees, But I'm okay. I like devotional service, but I can't handle Mayapur, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri, I like devotional service, but I don't like chanting. Because devotional service means relationship with the Lord and His devotees. So New Year's Eve, New Year, everything. 365 days in a year should be contemplated on this principle of developing a relationship with the Lord and His devotees. That's all. So this is one principle. The other principle that I wanted to speak about is what Mother Parvati, Lord Shiva's wife, he prayed to the Lord. And I think this is something that we can also pray to the Lord. This could be our New Year's resolution, if it is possible. when Mother Parvati came to Navadvip Dham, and he cried intensely, praying for Mahaprabhu to appear, because he heard from her husband, Lord Shiva, about the glories of Mahaprabhu. So he came in the place called Simolia, and he was crying profusely, calling out the name of Lord Gauranga, and Mahaprabhu appeared. So Mahaprabhu asked him, what do you want? What benediction do you want? Very interesting. Usually, if the Lord appears, if you hear Srimad Bhagavatam and other pastimes, the Lord appears and immediately the devotees ask for love of Godhead, going back to Godhead, so on and so forth. When the Lord appeared in front of Mother Parvati, Parvati Devi said, Bhaktosthane aparad korini prachur. Says, my Lord, not recognizing the glories of your devotees, I have made many offenses. It's very, very difficult to understand your devotees. Saptino chitrakotu hoilo vitrasur. Maharaj Chitraketu, this is from Bhagavatam. Actually, I did the offense. I cursed him. After receiving my curse, Chitraketu began to worship me and glorify me. Usually it's tit for tat, I punch you, you punch me back. But the devotees are exactly the opposite. Parvati Devi cursed him, and Chitraketu, Maharaj Chitraketu, who later on became Vitrasur, he began to worship and glorify Parvati Devi. Tomar bhakter gun, guna na. It's very, very difficult to understand the glories of your devotees, and their glories cannot be fully described. My Lord, if you want to give me a benediction, then give me this benediction. Let me understand the glories of your devotees. Because once I understand the glories of your devotees, then there is a good chance that I will not criticize them. When do you criticize somebody? It's because you think you're better than him. That's wrong. So, why we are discussing this today, especially because we live in a devotee community where there are a lot of devotees. And if we are not careful enough, no matter how many resolutions you pass for your new year, everything will be doomed, finished. Why? Because our devotional service depends on our relationship with the devotees. One of Iskcon's, one of the greatest leaders we had was Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. He used to say, when you meet a devotee, treat him in such a way, talk to him in such a way that your very existence of devotional service depends on how you are treating that devotee. So if I was talking to Nitai, and if my consciousness is that my devotional existence, my devotional life will depend on how I treat him, how will I talk to him? That is Samvata. This is real New Year's resolution. If somehow or other our very life, goal of life can be to depend our relationship with the Lord and His devotees, with the holy name and the holy dham, our life is successful. When you love your kid, when you love your home, when you love your job, especially in America, you want to keep that job that you're doing, you better be there on time. If your job starts at 9 o'clock, you're there at 9 o'clock, 5 minutes before. If the job is at 9 o'clock, you don't show up at 10 o'clock. Why? Because you value that. You value your job. You sacrifice a lot for your child. Why? Because you love your child. You love your home. And therefore you do insurance, you do this, you do maintenance, this and that. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjana. That means accepting which is favorable and rejecting which is unfavorable. That we have been doing every single day of our life. Do we drink poison? No. Why? Because we'll die. So we reject that. So in different aspects of our life, we actually follow this principle of accepting and rejecting. But somehow or other, when it comes to Krishna consciousness, not so much importance is given. Why are you not thrown out of your job? Because of anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjana. Because you follow that principle of accepting which is favorable and rejecting which is not favorable, therefore you are able to keep the job. Why are you still breathing? Because of accepting and rejecting. Why are we able to talk? Because of accepting and rejecting. So the fact that we are still alive is because of accepting and rejecting. Favorable and unfavorable. Similarly, Mother Parvati, shown by her example, he begged the Lord, my Lord, please let me understand the glories of your devotees so I don't make any offenses. Because I understand that my relationship with you depends on my relationship with the devotees. You cannot build relationship with a person while you are trying to harm that person's children. There is no question. While harming the children, I am trying to build a relationship with the father. It doesn't work. The day we actually are very nice to the devotees, you notice your chanting will be better. Your relationship with the Lord will naturally deepen. That's a natural consequences of being nice to other devotees. So, somehow or other, if 2024 we can focus on this principle of deepening our relationship with the Lord, with the holy name, with the devotees, and with the holy Dham. The end of 2023, today is the last day, and you can try to see what went wrong as far as this principle is concerned. And then you can move forward. Nam Gana Sadaruchi Loy Krishna. This is Mahaprabhu's statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita. New Year's resolution. Nam Gana Sadaruchi. That he has such attachment to the holy name that he is always chanting. Why? You see, the Lord, I don't know if He talks to you when you come, I don't know when you say something to Him, I don't know if He responds to you right away. Maybe to some of you the Lord speaks, I don't know. He doesn't speak to me. I just come and pay obeisance, something is there, I feel something is there. But when we talk to the devotees, when you ask him how you're doing, immediately he or she will respond. And because some reciprocation is there, there's a tendency in us to judge. And therefore, tar bakko kriya mudra vigyana bujhay. Jar chitte Krishna prema karoye uday. A advanced devotee are very, very difficult to understand. They cannot be judged by external behavior sometimes. Even the most learned person cannot understand, and therefore there is a possibility of misunderstanding and misjudging, and we end up into trouble. You know, when Lord Indra tried to annihilate the inhabitants of Vrindavan, and he sent this Samvartaka cloud to kill the Brajavasis. And when Krishna lifted up Govardhan Hill for 7 days, Indra understood he made a mistake. Indra came down. The Lord initially did not even want to look at him because of his offenses. And then, of course, Lord Brahma inspired Lord Indra to take shelter of Mother Suravi. And then Krishna taught her. It's very, very difficult to please Krishna when we start judging devotees. 2024, if somehow or other we can make it a point. Yesterday there was talking to some devotees, and one sannyasi called in the middle of our conversation. So one of the devotees, this was on the phone and the loudspeaker. Why I'm saying this, because it's something to learn and very inspired. So this devotee started to complain about one devotee to that Maharaj. I was there. And immediately Maharaj said, why are you telling all this to me? Am I that person? Why are you polluting my consciousness by telling some bad thing about somebody else? Why are you doing that? And the person who was speaking immediately pulled back. It's a culture that we need to create. Usually, when somebody says something about somebody which is not very nice, we have a tendency to hear more. If you say, oh, Prabhu, that devotee is very nice, you're like, okay, next. Then, Prabhu, what the devotee did? Oh, really? What happened? Really? We're all geared. So Maharaj is like, why are you telling me that? I'm not him, talk to him. Why are you polluting my consciousness? And I felt that this could be one beautiful resolution of the New Year, which will help to deepen our relationship with others. Yesterday somebody sent one pastime, Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, or Bhakti Maharaj. He was circulating this pastime of Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, where he sent some devotees to a particular place to open up a center. So a temple was built, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went there to inaugurate the temple and install the deities. So there was a huge festival when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada arrived. As soon as he arrived, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, where is that devotee? There was a particular devotee who worked very hard for that project. I don't see him. Where is the devotee? So the devotees told him, oh Gurudev, he got involved with one lady, and so we talked to him, meaning like, they really criticized him, really, heavy him out, so he is gone. He left. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, I do not want to inaugurate this temple. I do not want to install the deities also. Because he saw that a devotee did a mistake And the way everyone treated him, that he left the association of devotees. What is the point of me inaugurating this temple? What is the point of me installing this deity? He didn't want to do it. Of course, later on, by the instruction of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that devotee was preached to, he was brought back. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was very happy. He installed the deities, he inaugurated the temple. This would be our New Year's resolution. There are devotees. Usually, natural respect comes from external certain elements. Someone is rich, a devotee, is a rich devotee, comes in a fancy car, he gives a lot of donation to the temple, everyone goes jai jai, comes to the temple, he gets a garland, or he gives a class. So naturally, everyone thinks, oh, he is a very nice devotee. But Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Don nahi, John nahi, nahi ko panditya, ke chinibe ei sob chaitanya vritta. Sometimes, you will see devotees, very poor. They don't have followers. They don't have knowledge. How will you recognize these amazing servants of Mahaprabhu? Therefore, don't judge. So, again, we're just emphasizing this point that our Krishna consciousness will depend on our relationship with the devotees. This little mistake, like when Narottam Das Thakur says, that if Krishna is upset with you for some reason, the devotee can protect you. But if we make offenses at the lotus feet of the devotees, the Lord cannot protect you. And the example is Ambarish Maharaj from Srimad Bhagavatam. Durvasa Muni went to the Lord said, I cannot protect you. To the point, this is also from Bhagavatam, the Lord says, even if my hand tries to do something, try to harm a devotee, cut off my hand. So if the Lord has so much attachment to his devotees, we cannot take devotees for granted. Here, Chaitanya Bhagavat says, anyone who laughs at those devotees who are poor, who doesn't look very attractive externally, who are not very knowledgeable, kumbhipake chaisai nija karmutosai. He'll go to the hell called kumbhipaka. Vaishnav chinite nare kahar sukte. It is not possible to understand a devotee. So therefore, don't take it for granted. Why we should risk our own devotional life by judging a devotee? This should be our New Year's resolution. And devotees are ready to take any risk for delivering others. We have a devotee named Vasudeva Datta, intimate associate of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was sitting in Jagannath Puri and Vasudeva Datta went to the Lord and told him, my Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I have a desire and I humbly beg that you fulfill that desire. The Lord said, I have nothing within my capacity that I will not give you. Tell me what you want. So Vasudeva Datta said that let everyone go back home, back to Godhead. And if you feel that they are not able to go back to Godhead because they have done some sinful activities, I am willing to go to hell for eternity. Then let the devotees go back to Godhead. Devotees are extremely merciful. Even if you put them down, there is still only one good for you. And we don't know who's praying for us. Why take the risk? So the best thing that we can do for our devotional life, the best resolution that we can make for 2024 is that we try to treat the devotees in a very, very respectful manner. Our attachment to the Lord, our attachment to the holy dham, our attachment to the holy name will develop naturally when we treat the devotees nicely. Vaishnav Chariya Seva Nistar Peche Keva. There is no example of anyone being delivered without worshipping or without respecting devotees. As you know, Srila Prabhupada in 1977, before he departed in Vrindavan, some of his godbrothers came to see him. And Prabhupada, with folded hands, he was begging forgiveness from those devotees. And those devotees were saying, Prabhupada, you're Mahabhagavat, you cannot make any mistakes. You have not done any offenses. But Prabhupada kept on repeating that. I'll just end with a small pastime of Prabhupada. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was very dear to Prabhupada. This was in Bombay. And for some reason, one of his senior godbrothers chastised him very severely. So naturally, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj is very soft-hearted. And so his godbrother chastised him very heavily. He was feeling bad. But he could have gone to Prabhupada and tell him everything. Because he was very close to Prabhupada and he had every access. He was Prabhupada's servant. He did not say anything. But Prabhupada, he understood. So Prabhupada told him that one's spiritual advancement is not dependent on the position that you have. It is not that because you have a high managerial position, suddenly, because of that, you're advanced. But it depends on how humble and how tolerant you are. So our devotional advancement depends on tolerance and humility. And when somebody is tolerant and humble, naturally his relationship with the devotees will naturally grow. Naturally. So when we treat devotees, we have to be very humble and very tolerant. Why? Because like, for example, here, this devotees are from every background. Some of us, we like a different type of prasad. Some of us, we like different kirtaniyas. We like different style of dancing. Our language is different. Our culture is different. Still, we all have to stay together for the pleasure of Prabhupada. You know how much tolerance, how much tolerant you have to be. So, again, Mahaprabhu told Amogha, you are connected with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. You are born as a Brahmin. My dear Amogha, instead of loving Krishna, why do you keep so much envy in your heart? Give up the envy. Chant Hare Krishna. Our devotional life depends on the relationship that we have with our devotees, with the holy name, with the holy dharma, with the Lord. And if somehow or other this can be our New Year's resolution, it will be very, very helpful. Personally and also collectively. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know.
Mic to the other supervisor.
Yeah. I have a question. If anybody, I don't know.
So here we can hear.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. I have a question that if anybody criticize about uludhani or dancing or kirtan or folding and Duhatule kirtan kal, if anybody criticize and offends a devotee, Krishna will forgive him or her.
Just to raise back, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. And Prabhupada quoting different scriptures. He was saying that if one criticizes devotees, his good fortune, his longevity, all auspicious things in his life that was supposed to happen, anything good that was supposed to happen, all gets destroyed. Then Prabhupada says, sometimes the devotees are very, very merciful. So sometimes the devotees may forgive you, but the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees and the Lord does not forgive you. So, our main point is that we will refrain from criticizing and we will help to create that culture where if something needs to be rectified, we go to the proper person with the proper etiquette and attitude and we can express ourselves. That's it. If someone does criticize the devotees, he will have to suffer for their consequences. There is no exception for that. No exceptions. And no devotees, no person should look for an excuse. Look at Prajapati Daksha and Mahadev. Prajapati Daksha found reasons to criticize Mahadev. As a result of that, he was killed. And to teach us a lesson, here a head of a goat. And Bhrigu Muni, he had his beard was taken off and mustache was taken off. What was put? The beard of a goat. Just to remind us, be careful. So we should not find a reason to criticize. If there are things, there improvements are needed, but there are process of expressing what needs to be rectified to proper mood and attitude and etiquette and all that. If it is not done, then Prajapati Daksha is example of Prajapati Daksha is there. But no exception. No exception. Anyone else? Any other questions? Yes, bro, in the back.
Similar, but what I wanted to ask was, say for example, many of us do read Shastra and things like that, and we see certain things that could be blatantly wrong, which even say leaders are doing. And then on the other hand, like you said, we are also taught that we shouldn't find fault or we shouldn't criticize and things like that. So where is the line? And and sometimes you go and inform and then people don't listen and no change is made. So what is to be done, say, by the individual or the group in such instances?
Mahaprabhu used two words. One is Durgam, one is Apar. Apar means is very difficult to cross. So, yes, we have to be very, very careful. Just like Mahaprabhu told Amoga, instead of loving Krishna, why do you have so much envy in your heart? We have to make sure that the rectification that we are talking about is not coming out of envy. It's actually a genuine concern. And again, like I said, in every place there are scope for improvements. In every individual, there is scope for improvements. Chastising someone can be only done on the basis of love. If we don't love someone, we do not have the right to chastise. The parents have the right to chastise their children because the parents love their children. The guru has the right to chastise or rectify a disciple because the guru loves his disciples. The teacher has the right to rectify the student because the teacher genuinely cares for the student. To rectification, why do you want to rectify something here? You have to understand, why are you saying this? What's in your heart? Is it out of love? Is it out of really concern? Or is it just, just like, this devotee who was always looking for faults. He came to Mahaprabhu's room, there were some ants. Immediately told Mahaprabhu, hey, what type of sannyasi you are? You must be eating a lot of sweets. Otherwise, why there are ants in the room? You know what I'm saying? So, if you come to this temple, and you feel something is not right, ask yourself, is it out of love for the temple? Is it out of concern? Is it out of envy? If it is out of love, if it is out of concern, how do you talk to someone if you love someone? How do you show your concern? By screaming? Sometimes. But that person should also understand that he is saying like this because he loves me. So please express your concerns with proper Vaishnava etiquette. And then it's understood. If it is done out of envy, immediately the fall down begins. If it is done with concern, with love, with proper attitude, with proper etiquette, to the right person, then it's okay. Very, very important. Otherwise, we'll create this atmosphere of who's better. You know what I'm saying? So just, Hari Bol Prabhu, I was thinking, we always give a sandwich comment, something nice. Not like, Hari Bol Prabhu, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Prabhu, I came to the temple, it was very nice, the lords were very decorated very nicely. But I was just thinking, instead of 3 incense, if you can give 5, whatever it is, say it in a way that this devotee, oh, okay. Also try to understand his point of view. You want 5 incense, but in the temple there is only 3 incense today. So there, you know what I'm saying? When you try to understand from their point of view, and you have the right attitude, things are taken care of. At the end of the day, it is you, it is me who have to be answered at the time of death. We sit for many exams throughout our life. And the final exam, time of death. At least we can be truthful to ourselves that we genuinely tried our best. At least we should be able to say that to Krishna. Krishna tried his best. We have to be very, very careful of how we point out the defects, so-called defects, or the places of improvements that we feel need to be improved. We have to be very, very careful how we put that out. All right? We end here. Anyone
Anyone
else?
else?
You have something?
I hit a nerve over that. I really wanted to make a comment, really just to say thank you and express a depth of gratitude and appreciation for the discussion we gave today. It's very applicable to today, being the last day of the year. I think for all of us to reflect on what was given, those points that were raised, the idea that the Lord, His holy name, His devotees should be what we should focus on, not as we leave this year but enter into the new year and develop that quality relationship with the Lord. It's of paramount importance in our lives that we are going to become better devotees as we move forward into the next year, because ultimately, like you rightly said, that relationship is what carries us. It is what grows us, and it is what develops that quality of loving devotional service. And if we can develop like that on those 3 levels, then there's no question of ever committing apparat, because one can see through the challenges of everyone else, can see through the faults of everyone else, because by becoming pure in our own hearts, by having that internal relationship with the Lord as we develop like that, we're able to understand and appreciate the challenges that everyone is facing, and so we can be forgiving and very compassionate and willing to lovingly bring them up. So I wanted to really and truly say thank you so much for discussing that. Hare Krishna.
Just wanted to add that devotees, the real wealth of Iskcon, the real asset, the real opulence, all of you. So the real asset, real opulence of Iskcon Atlanta is the devotees. Krishna is most pleased when he sees a devotee is treating another devotee with respect. That when a devotee makes a mistake, that there is a genuine attempt to rectify him, not to destroy him. And the good example of is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that we heard today. He did not want to install the deity or inaugurate the temple because a devotee had been offended, and he left the temple. He only inaugurated the temple and wanted to bring it back. Can you imagine that every time you walk into this temple, you feel so welcome? Everyone is being so nice to you. Everyone's like, Hari Bol. You know, how happy would you feel? Other picture is that every time you walk in, you feel like everyone is judging you, you know. Oh, he didn't put the tilak right, you know, whatever, you know, small things. Focus on the relationship, just like Bhaktisiddhanta said. Treat a devotee in such a way that that particular interaction with that devotee will have a big impact on your devotional life. It's like life and soul. So, okay? Second one.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for a wonderful class. I was actually listening in the car while driving and it was very Victorian. I have a question. When it comes to the family, preaching them, I have heard few lectures, but I would appreciate if you can put a little insight. Preaching to families is more difficult than preaching to outside people. And sometimes they take up the Krishna consciousness, but then changing their old styles and what they have been brought up with, what their parents have taught them, and what rituals they have been doing, or even like sometimes some Vaishnava etiquettes or some rules and regulations, suppose simple things to implicit in kitchen. It becomes so difficult. So how do you deal with them very lovingly, or because that time I personally feel that we tend to forget. We tend to be loving with outside devotees, but when it comes to our own families, sometimes we we don't imply that. So if you can guide a little bit about that. Thank you.
Couple of examples come to my mind. The history says that many of our acharyas, their own children, did not take up Krishna consciousness seriously. But they are some of the most renowned acharyas in our line. So that aspect is there. On the other side, if you look at the musical, I don't know so much music thing about in America, but in India, if you look at the lineage of music, they have trained their children in such strict manner that within a couple of years they have become exceptionally renowned musicians. Some of our devotees' children, they have become amazing example of Krishna consciousness. And some, the father is amazing devotee, mother is amazing devotee, somehow the children are not. Sometimes the children have taken up Krishna consciousness very seriously, and the mothers and fathers have not. One brother takes up, others not. So there is a mix of that. It is there. I'm just letting you letting the ground. But this is the ground reality. As individuals, what can we do? First is please understand that there is a tendency that the relatives takes you very for granted. So when, I don't know, if you ever try to teach something to your child, you have to say maybe 10 times. Somebody else from outside says 1 time, and your kid says yes, yes. You know, so that nature is there. The best way is that we have to be very, very patient. Very patient. You know it will take time. Just like none of us became devotee in one day. We did not learn to walk in one day. We did not learn to speak within a day. So especially our relatives, because there's a tendency that they take us very, take it very easily, So we have to be very patient, very friendly to them, and try to explain as much as we can, and then we have to see that, all of us have certain individuals that we listen to more. So we try to inspire them, to talk to them, put them in an environment where they're inspired. Like, for example, I'm just giving you one example. Say a kid in the house, he does not want to eat by himself. You always have to feed him. You put that kid with the other 3 kids who are eating by themselves, your kid will start to eat by themselves. So, putting them in that type of environment, say if I say something, most likely he or she might listen a little bit more because he's only listening to me for the first time. Or he sees me once in a while, or he sees you very often. So there's a mixture of everything. And we have to utilize the time, place, and circumstances. But individually, we pray for them. We are being very, very nice to them. We try to do whatever we can to bring them closer to Krishna. And it takes time. Sometimes it's very natural they take up, and sometimes it takes years and years and years, and sometimes we feel like it's hopeless. When Tamal Krishna Maharaj told about one particular devotee to Prabhupada, he said, Prabhupada, this person is hopeless case, hopeless. Prabhupada told him, you do not know the mercy of Lord Nityananda. That person came back to Krishna consciousness. Not only that, Prabhupada gave him sannyas. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was saying that this person is hopeless. He's an Indian devotee, Punjabi devotee from Bombay. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was telling Prabhupada, you have to put this guy's name in the newspaper. Because he was making something up, giving bad name. Prabhupada said, no. And then after 3-4 times, Prabhupada said, then Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, Prabhupada is a hopeless case. None of us are hopeless case. None of us are hopeless case. Why? Because of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Prabhupada said, we do not know the mercy of the Lord Nityananda Prabhu. I don't know how many of us are pure vegetarian from birth. I don't know how many of us are actually born in the temple with a japa bead in the hand. Right? But you see, so many devotees with such crazy background, now following for regular principles, honoring prasadam, chanting Hare Krishna, and on the New Year's Eve, all of you sitting in the temple. Instead of, I don't know what you would have done 10 years back or what you did 10 years back. Look at you now. Some of us made fun of devotees. Hey, look at this crazy fellows chanting and dancing the same behaviors, crazy guys. And those who criticize, now they are chanting and dancing. So, this is the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He is extremely merciful. And no matter what, we just be patient, try your best. Dadami buddha yogam tam yena mamupayantite. Krishna will give the intelligence by which you can come. Okay? Finish? Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Radha Madan Mohan Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sri Gaurnitai ki, Samavita Gaur Bhakta Vrindi ki, Tai Gaur Pramande.
Grace. Naru Gopal ki.
So, Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming for the New Year Eve, for the Sunday Love Feast, which was actually established by Prabhupada. Let us give a very big Hari Bol for Naru Gopal Prabhu, who came all the way from India. Hari Bol! Wonderful devotee. He served in the Gurukul for many years. Now he's serving Bangladesh and many other places, which you have heard from Sikhimaiti Prabhu. And he's also regional secretary for many zones in India, putting a very responsible position in India. So if you want to do some seva to him, you can also do it. He's traveling and preaching. So today we have a Sunday sponsor, Namita Khannan family. Are you here? Namita Khannan family. If you are here, please come and do the Mini Arati. Then I request Amrita Korangi Matajan family to come and do Mini Arati. Jayanti Bhai and family to come and do Mini Arati. Namita Khannan family, if you are here.
Hare
I know our Sunday sponsor, they are not here. So, but still we'll pray for them and their family. They are sponsoring Sunday feast, Namita Khan and family for New Year ending, and also to feed all the Vaishnavas and the devotees and the guests who are coming here. Oh, you're here, okay. Oh, she's here. I called your name, but I couldn't find you before. So please come forward. So, do you have any other families here? Okay, please come. Rangesh, can you get one down? So Namita Khanna and their family, they are very wonderful servant of Radha Madan Mohan. They always serve this temple, and whenever there is no Sunday feast sponsored, they always do sponsor for the Sunday feast. I know now almost 4 or 5 Sunday feasts they recently just sponsored. So this, let's give a round of applause for this wonderful. And they are seeking the blessings of all the Vaishnavas and the deities. Can you pray for them? Yes? So please raise your hand and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra as loud you can. Prabhupada ki jai. So they're just seeking the blessings of all the devotees and the deities. So next we have a few announcements. So tonight, hopefully we'll get some more devotees who will join the kirtan. So tonight we'll have kirtan. Right after prasadam, we'll have kirtan. But you have to give us a few minutes to sit here and do the kirtan, because we want to clean the temple, because all the devotees are going to take prasadam inside the temple. So after the temple is cleaning done, then you can all sit back and do kirtan until 12 o'clock midnight. So there will be different devotees doing kirtan. You can participate in the kirtan, and then 12 o'clock the kirtan will end. Then you will go to your destinations and temple will be closed. So on 6th of January, there is Prabhupada Super Saturday. The temple has started this program for several years. So the first Saturday of the first month, we offer the Saturday to Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, and devotees come and they do Guru Puja to Prabhupada. We also hear directly from Srila Prabhupada. And in this it starts from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then there will be prasadam after 8 p.m. So please join us. This is on 6th of January 2024. And then on 7th January, temple will be also having Ekadashi Kirtan. The Kirtan begins, like we have a Sunday feast, so generally there will be prasadam up to like 7 o'clock. After 7 p.m. we will have kirtan until like 8:30. Then it will end. Then there will be also a prasadam also. I think Lakshman Prabhu is making some special prasadam. So we'll have some prasadam also for that. So anyone who is taking part in kirtan. And then Iskcon Atlanta want to thank all the donors, all the monthly members, all other services that the congregation and the devotees have done throughout the year in 2023. So Iskcon Atlanta recognize them, and from the bottom of our heart we like to thank all these devotees. Especially we want to thank the Radha Madan Mohan cookie group. We have a cookie group where devotees are making cookies for Radha Madan Mohan every day, but they have to be initiated. So they are doing this service very nicely. So we like to really thank them. Let's give a round of applause for all these devotees who have done all this service. So, especially on the donors list, we want to recognize Ganga Mataji, Uttan Vivek and family, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, and Jayanti Bhai Prabhu and his family. They have done so much seva to this temple, so we'd like to really thank them. Let's raise our hand and chant Hare Krishna one time for this wonderful family. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then we want to thank, next we want to thank Ujjeshwari Mataji, Vardhana Mataji, Amrita Gorangi Mataji, and Swati Mataji, Revati Mataji. All these Mataji, they have, over the years, whenever we have festival, they come here and they decorate the temple. For many years they have been doing this. So now Iskcon Atlanta recognize their service. So let us thank them by chanting Hare Krishna one time for them also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all. So now, any other announcement will listen? Okay. So we'll have kirtan. After now we have the final darshan of the deities. We take the blessing from the pujari, and the prasad will be served inside. So after you take prasad, then you may have to go out a little bit outside, or you can stay in the other small room, and then we'll clean the temple. Then you can all come and sit, and we'll have a kirtan. We are still discussing. Let's see what's going on with the arati, but we may not have arati, but we may also have. We don't know yet. We are discussing on it. So let's see. But we'll have, definitely we'll have kirtan. Huh? Let us see. So, yeah, whatever management is discussing, let's see. Okay? Hare Krishna. Now let us come forward and take the blessings.